Okay, it's Sunday, so it's time to play some fighting games and answer some questions. First up is, why is it that compared to other healers to play as, does it feel like am I reading that right? Why is it that compared to the other healers to play as, does it feel like I'm doing next to nothing as Lucio? I feel like that's just a problem with heroes that, like, predominantly use an aura as their effect, where it is sort of hard to feel like the aura is accomplishing much because it's kind of a passive effect like that. Because I don't really feel that way about Lucio. Like, it does feel like I'm doing stuff, even though I'm terrible at Lucio. But I played, like, Sona in League of Legends, and she used to be entirely aura-based, so maybe I just got more used to that kind of feedback. I don't know. I think it's just, like, an aura character kind of thing, really. Yeah, you know, I think that's it. I don't really have anything else for you on that one. You know, you could always play like you want to be on the front page of Reddit, and you'll probably feel like you're doing some stuff as Lucio. That's what the strategy most Lucio players tend to take anyway. So next up, how many heroes should I main in the tank role? One main tank, one off tank, that's all you need. Everything else is optional. If we're being honest, you could just play a main tank, and that's also fine. Because, like, two main tanks is not strictly ideal as having a main tank and an off tank, but you'll get by just fine. This is why whenever always say if you're gonna only play one hero as a support or a tank, it should be the main version rather than the off version, because two off healers is terrible, right? Two main healers is not ideal, but two off healers is terrible. More on that later. Same deal with tanks. Two off tanks is terrible, but two main tanks is just not ideal, right? You know. And sometimes it is, sometimes it actually is ideal, depending on the team comp that you're running. But yeah, just a main tank is fine, but like, to be completely thorough, one main tank, one off tank, and then you've got all your bases covered, all your covers based. Doesn't really matter which ones either. Like, the ideal combination would pretty much be Reinhardt Zarya, because they're the two most ubiquitously applicable tanks, but any are fine. Any are fine. Sigma's not a main tank. Sorry. Next up. Should Sigma spend most of his time shield not deployed? This is actually the strat with all shield tanks except Orisa, because she doesn't really play by the same rules. You want to be using your shield as little as possible. I suppose, to be fair, we only have two other shield tanks, but that's all of them, damn it. Like, all resource shields. You want to have the shield deployed as little as possible. This is a common trap that Reinhardt players fall into when they start playing, where they try and block everything. You can't do that. The trick is to have your shield up as little as possible, because you're only really trying to block, like, important stuff. Poke damage is, like, whatever, right? Like, you know, sure, not great to take it, but, like, you're really trying to stop, like, big stuff, like the big damage coming through. When you're trying to, like, push into them, you want to have a nice, healthy shield while you're doing that, because that's when they're going to chuck everything at you while you're trying to push through the doorway. Whereas most people do, is they just use their shield whenever the fuck, and then when they actually need their shield, they don't have it. This is also a problem commonly seen by Winston players, and by commonly I mean literally every Winston player, where they will walk into the choke point and go, "Oh, bullets!" and they just immediately put their shield down. It breaks instantly, of course, because it's massive and not got a lot of hit points, so it is immediately broken in the choke point. And then the Winston player goes, well, I'm still going to jump in. And he doesn't have his shield because he put it in the choke point for no reason, because he took, like, a bit of poke damage. And now he jumps into the enemy team and gets clapped because he doesn't have his shield. Reinhardt players do the same thing, where they're like, your team isn't even grouped up, and they're stood in the doorway blocking damage coming out from the defenders. So then, when the Reinhardt actually starts trying to push through the doorway, doesn't have any shield, so he just gets fucking clapped immediately because he gets 3 feet in, he breaks, and he dies. You want to have your shield up for, like, only the important moments, basically, is the gist. When, like, big cooldowns are coming in, when you're trying to push in, when the enemy team's trying to push in, you don't want to just hold it up for no reason. When you shouldn't, your default state shouldn't be like, I need a reason to not have my shield up. It should be, I need a reason to have my shield up. Next, how do I counter Bastion as an actual tank? So, problem, it's hard to counter Bastion as one person. Because the Bastion team comps, or Bastion rather, forces the entire team to play around the Bastion. If they don't, the Bastion is completely free. So they either don't play around Bastion and he feeds, or they all play around Bastion and they hope it works. Those are the two choices. One of these obviously doesn't matter, because the Bastion gets clapped. But when the enemy team is playing around the Bastion, now, they're using the most degenerate and disgusting of all tactics, teamwork, right? It's like, bare minimum, you've got like 4 people playing around the Bastion, right? Like, the other DPS might be doing his own thing, but like, both healers, both tanks, they're probably playing around Bastion if they are. So, how are you, as one tank, gonna deal with 5 people working together, maybe 6, if depending on what the other DPS does? You won't. You need to employ your own teamwork. Now, the good thing about Bastion comps is they revolve entirely around the Bastion. So, if you can kill the Bastion, the whole team crumbles at that point. So, you need some amount of teamwork to actually counter the Bastion. The sort of like the bare minimum is probably like you need the other tank to help you. Because it's gonna be really fucking hard for you to get to the Bastion by yourself. So, the best way, I think, to do it is, assuming the other tank wants to work with you, the main tank is Reinhardt, the off tank is D.Va. And here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna, and ideally the support is a Lucio, actually, but, you know, you can do it with just the 2. You're gonna hold the shield up, and you're gonna get as close to the Bastion as you possibly can. Your shield's gonna break. Then, you're gonna charge at the Bastion, and this is very critical. The D.Va uses Defense Matrix to cover you while you're charging. Because if you can get to the Bastion and pin him, you kill him. He won't die from the pin. Bastion has 300 health, but some of it's armor, so you'll do 295 damage when you pin him. Then you hit him one more time and he dies. But if you pinned him, you killed the Bastion. And I think that's like the easiest way to deal with it as a Bastion. Is map dependent. If the Bastion, if you're on Numbani, then this doesn't really work for the first checkpoint, because Bastion's on the opposite balcony to you. But that means you can just go the really long way round first and avoid his line of sight as much as possible, and then you charge him. But, you know, you can't always just, march straight up to him, depending on the map. Sometimes you have to employ a little bit of, subterfuge and try and get round the side or round the back before you can do that. The best choice you have, assuming you can't get anybody to help you, you're by yourself, your whole team is doing whatever the fuck. Best, solo option as a tank is Roadhog, because if you can hook him, the problem's dealt with, at least temporarily. He's not in turret form anymore. That's, the best you get as a tank solo option for countering Bastion. Even then, it's not really much better than Reinhardt, because you need an opportunity to hook him as Roadhog. Whereas Reinhardt, if you can get the right angle, you can pin him regardless. But you need to be able to get close. That was a sick jump grab. But you need to be able to get in position to do that. Roadhog, you can just wait for the opportunity instead, so it's a little easier. That's really all you get, though. You need teamwork to deal with the Bastion. It's just part of life, really. Next Bastion question. How do countering Bastion on Gibraltar first point. So, don't go out the front door. Go out the door that's on the left that no one uses, ever. Because the thing with Gibraltar's first checkpoint is that if the Bastion's chilling up there on the high ground, you're just walking around in a kill box getting fucking minced, right? Don't do that. But the point's out there. You gotta touch the point if you want to win the game. I know you gotta touch the point if you're gonna win the game. You don't always have to be touching the point as the attacking team. You can avoid going to the point, go around to deal with the threat that's stopping you from touching the point. And then, after you've dealt with that, you can touch the point for free. Rather than trying to touch the point while you're getting murdered by Bastion. This is a problem with all attacking teams, is that they don't want to, like, do something that doesn't seem to be making progress in terms of actually pushing the point. Whereas there are a lot of situations where the best thing you can actually do is go nowhere near the point first. Go and deal with whatever the threat is, then secure the point. Suppose you're attacking Dorado's first checkpoint, right? You can't push it up the street because they're on the high ground, fucking you. Bear with me here, right? Whole team goes through the passageway that goes underneath there instead. Then you just push up behind them, force them off of the high ground, and then you can jump down and start pushing the point for free once you've dislodged them. Wild, I know. The thing is, you've got to convince your team that the best thing to do is be not... Like, the point's going to be moving backwards while you're going to be making negative progress on the meter at the top of the screen while you're doing this. But you're not getting murdered by Bastion anymore, which means you get to push the payload. It's a problem people have. They're not good at, like, seeing the big picture. They only see that they want to touch the point because touching the point is how you win the game. The thing is, right, you do actually have to kill people to win the game. Now, people will tell you don't win the game by killing people. You win the game by playing the objective. That's true. But here's the thing. If you're the attacking team, you need to completely dominate the point to capture it. If one member of the enemy team is alive, you are not capturing the point. You need to kill the entire defending team before pushing the point actually works. So you need to kill people to actually win the game, unfortunately. People are bad at this kind of... They don't see this properly. To be fair, this is probably partly because of, like, all the... like, people on the YouTubes and all the Reddit screaming, like, play the point, like, during the early parts of the game's release. And now they're completely unable to see the big picture of, like, sometimes it's better to not touch the point, so that when you do touch the point, it's a lot fucking easier. Anyway, so that's how you counter Bastion Gibraltar first. Don't go the front door, go the other door. Here's a general thing with Bastion as well, is it gets really hard for Bastion comps to work if they have to start defending from multiple angles. They really excel when the entire team is trying to push through one direction at once. This is why when you're playing on, like, Hanamura, it can feel completely impossible to push through the doorway versus a Bastion, because you can't really threaten Bastion from multiple locations on Hanamura. Because there's the one way in, and then the window that only a few people can really get through. So this is why it can feel completely impossible. Ideally, you're pressuring Bastion from multiple locations, because it gets harder for their team comp to actually, like, protect the Bastion if he's getting pressured from the front and both the flanks at the same time. Or, like, the front and the back at the same time. So ideally, you got, like, a little bit of variance in here. But if you get, that's hard, getting, like, multiple people working together from multiple angles. You can just, like, avoid his line of sight as much as possible, get right on the guy, and then, like, fucking just get right on his ass, Then you eat his ass, and then he's the problem's dealt with. Next up, how should you actually use Bastion's ultimate? To be honest, like it's Deadeye. And bear with me on that. You're gonna be like, what the fuck do you mean as if it's Deadeye? You want to be in, like, the same position as if you're using Deadeye, where you want to be on high ground so that you can actually, like, see people to use it. You need, like, a wide line of sight for configuration tank to actually be any kind of threat at all. So you want to use it like it's Deadeye when you're in, like, a high ground position, so you have a wide line of sight, or you can use configuration tank as a zoning ultimate. And you're gonna be like, what do you mean? You could, like, it's not like a giant kill field like McCree where you can't walk into it. It basically is, though, isn't it? Because think about it, when you're pushing in and then suddenly you hear configuration tank, you don't want to go around the corner anymore. You suddenly have this very strong inclination that walking around that corner is very dangerous, actually, because you might walk around the corner and instantly die. So you can actually use configuration tank as kind of a pseudo-defensive zoning ultimate, because if they start pushing in and they hear it, they're going to be like, oh, fuck. And they're going to either wait for configuration tank to end, or they're going to try and push in really timidly, like they're all going to cluster in really tightly on their shield or what have you. In which case, you can just do something like do a sick bunny hop and, like, get right on top of them, and, either way. You can use it as, like, a defensive ultimate. You want to use it like it's Deadeye, from, like, a high angle where you have a really wide line of sight so you can actually threaten a large area with it, or use it as a defensive ultimate to slow the enemy team's progress. And that's the last Bastion question. Next up, and this is the last question for this week. It feels like it's not been that long. How long has it been? It's only been 20 minutes. Holy shit, what an unprecedented amount of speed we've gone through all the questions. Jesus Christ. I guess today's going to be a bit shorter than usual. Look, there weren't that many questions. There were legitimately, like, 9 Bastion questions this week, I found. That's why there's 3 Bastion-related questions. They were all Bastion questions. I took, like, the 3 most different ones I could find, because a lot of them were how stop Bastion as X. Use multiple men to deal with the Bastion. So next up, last question. Any way to find a use out of Doom's ultimate? So, Doomfist ultimate, main use, bully Zenyatta. Bully Zenyatta with that ultimate. Zenyatta's got fuck all he's gonna do about it. Except maybe ult. Make Zen's life difficult. But in all seriousness, most people actually just use Doomfist's ultimate as, like, a defensive ability. Because usually with Doomfist, right, you have the 3 buttons. You've got the slam, you've got the uppercut, and you got the punch. What Doomfist's loop looks like is you use 2 of those abilities to try and kill somebody, and then you use the 3rd ability to escape. This is typically slam, uppercut, and then use the punch to escape, or vice versa, I suppose, but ideally you use the punch is not great, unless because it's kind of hard to kill people with. This is more Doomfist than I'm prepared to talk about, but, like, look, that's what people usually do. But, like, if you have your ultimate, you can just use all 3 to try and kill somebody, and then you can use your ultimate after that for either to get out or to keep going in, depending on whether or not your initial volley went well or not. Other than that, what other uses I see Doomfist players commonly do is use it to land somewhere really fucking high so that they can get a maxed out E on their engage. Because you can just, like, you'll see Doomfist, like, land on a fucking roof, like in the stratosphere, that they can't even stand on. But that's just so they can E all the fucking way down to get it the damage maxed out on it. And you can approach with some really fucking weird angles if you do that people will not be prepared for. You can also kind of use it for scouting, because you're in, like, the target selection period for a long time. So you can kind of use it to, like, figure out where their supports are if you can't, like, get your nose in the door. And then you can either use it for one of the previous things, and then you use it as a combo ultimate, right? Doomfist ult is very unlikely to get much done by itself unless the enemy team is super immobile, Senjata. But, like, if something else is going on, Graviton, obvious one, but, like, other ultimates will work as well. Like, Dragon is going to force people to go in a specific direction to avoid the dragon, right? Because Hanzo fires it into a narrow area. There's typically only one or two ways they can really go. So you can ult with the dragon, see which way they're going, and then ult ahead of them. And then their options are run into your ultimate or stay where they are and get hit by the dragon. Minefield, similar deal. It's going to push them into a certain area because they're going to need to get out of the mines, and then you jump on them. Because their choices are be in the minefield or be in your ultimate, right? You put them in these lose-lose situations where it's one ultimate or the other. You get to pick which one you want to be in. And then there are obvious self-destruct as well, going to force people a certain way. And then, like, you know, there's more combos that work with this kind of thing than just the obvious ones. Because most people, when they hear, like, combo, they're like, oh, Graviton. Like, yeah. Or Earth Shatter. Like, yeah. But, like, lots of ultimates force people a certain direction. And if you have, like, a telegraphed ultimate like Doomfist, they got no choice. They've got one of two bad choices. Stay in that ultimate or move into the other ultimate. So you just, like, put them in a lose-lose situation. The more options you can restrict the enemy team from, like, the more options you can take away from them, the better. And those are basically all the uses for Doomfist Ultimate. And now, we're gonna watch this set with Giovanna, because we probably stretched that out to like 22 minutes. Oh, 23 and a half minutes. Oh, look at that. We're not that much off schedule, by like 5 minutes. Probably only like 3 or 4 by the time we get through these. So, Guilty Gear's been a good time. I stopped being gatekept. I got into heaven. It's great. You may remember from the last time we were here, I was talking about how it was hard to get into heaven. I got into heaven. I stopped getting gatekept. We saw the set of games that got me into heaven as well. It was the 3 Giovanna games, followed by the 3 Soul games. That was the set of 6 that got me into heaven. So, hooray, fantastic. I beat the game. Heaven is the top floor. The way it works is that, like, when you get into heaven, you get, like, your VIP. So you can't fall out for a month. And there's a text box told me there's a reward if you're highly ranked in heaven, but they didn't tell me what the reward was, so it's probably something pretty lame. I would be really surprised if it's like a color or something. So I get to do it again next month, probably. In all seriousness, it's not really that impressive to have gotten into heaven, like, during the first month of the game's release, because the player base is, like, really inflated during the opening month of the game's release. It's the months after this that will be the more difficult ones, because fighting game player bases always drop off really quickly. Guilty Gear Strive also sold really fucking well. It has outsold, I think, all other Arc System Works fighting games except Dragon Ball FighterZ. Because Dragon Ball FighterZ, like, printed money for them, pretty much. So, like, there's a lot of players. A lot of people are also kind of riding off of, like, Soul being really broken right now. It's how it is. Soul's really broken. To be fair, I'm riding off of Round the Fall being really broken. Because both of them are Very, very good characters. Lots of characters are really good. Like, there aren't really any trash characters. You'll have people tell you there are trash characters, of course, because, obviously. The tier list always looks something like this, where it's like, my character is in, like, D tier, and your character is in S tier. You feel me? Anyway. So, it's not, you know, in, like, a month's time, when, like, Soul gets, nerfed, and, like, all the people that only learned how to push, like, close slash, the, like, punch he does that you can chain infinitely into itself. Once that gets taken away, all those people will stop playing. And then, getting into heaven will actually be more difficult. It was already difficult for me, mind you. We gotta go through the other 2 games. We can't just leave it on the 1 game out of the set. It was already hard for me, because winning, like, 5 out of 6 games is just difficult to do. When you're playing against, like, the higher end of the player base. I got gatekept legitimately, like, 20 times. I was in an infinite feat. This was how the loop went for me. For most of these attempts was, I would go to the 10th floor, which is the one right below heaven. I would go to the 10th floor, play, like, a set or 2, challenge heaven, go to heaven, get fucking demolished by a player that is way better than me, go back down to the 10th floor, win a set or 2, challenge heaven again, get bodied again, go back down, play a set or 2, go back up to heaven, win a set this time, and then get bodied in the subsequent set because you're playing against a different guy now. That's how it went for a long time. But eventually, I did it. It felt great. I beat the game. It's amazing. It was a very satisfying moment for me. And now I've done it. I can climb no higher. I'm on the highest floor. I did it. I got to top 500, baby, essentially. Not actually, because there's a scoreboard, and I don't show up on the scoreboard because I haven't won enough games. Because the scoreboard is how many games you've won in heaven. I haven't won enough in heaven to actually be highly placed on the scoreboard yet. Whatever. You know, I beat the game. Yeah, that feels good. Anyway. So we're fighting Giovanna now, because I got nothing else to say about Strive, really, outside of, yeah, fucking did it, I'm the best. Great job, me. So Giovanna is the other character I like. They're 2 completely different opposite ends to Ramlethal. Because Ramlethal, big swords, big buttons. Giovanna, very small buttons, only her legs, basically. But very fast character. Like, you see how quickly she can just zoop up to you? Real fast. Ramlethal is also more of like a corner pressure character. Like, she's not very strong mid-screen, outside of having big buttons to slap you with. She's really trying to get you to the corner, because that's when you get to have the fun stuff, because you throw the sword at them, the sword's going to explode, so they can't really push a button. You hold them there, and then you just keep mixing them up until eventually they can't block it. And if they don't know how to get out, they get bodied pretty... Actually, I should show you... I want to show you, like, this one set of games, actually, because there was character development. Versus a character I don't think you've seen me play against, which is the ninja Chip, but it's okay. No, we gotta finish this one. It's okay. We'll show you some character development later. Now we're gonna really stretch the video out to be over 30 minutes. We found it. We got there in the end, boys. Giovanna, however, Giovanna's thing is she's got a lot of moves that are just very positive on block, so she can keep pressuring you if you don't know what to do to get out of it. Like the little overhead flip thing she does, that you can't push a button after that, she'll beat you. So you have to, like, but it has like a slow startup, so you've got to do the correct thing to get out of it. The little, like, she like spins like a corkscrew and then flying kicks at you. That's also plus on block, so like if you get hit by that, you can't push a button, she'll beat you. So you gotta, like, stop it on its startup instead, because you can't get out of it after that. This is how you have, this is what Ramlethal's about. You get him in the corner and you get high, low, that's it. And you drop that combo immediately because you're terrible at the, like, float, the homing attack, I think it's called. Whatever, I drop that combo all the fucking time. And you get him over into the corner, and you keep doing it, and it's like, alright, get out. No, tech the grab, sit back fucking down. Jesus Christ, stay in the corner, goddamn. So, we're gonna go look at a couple games from Chip. So, something to know about Chip is I fucking hate him. Chip tilts me, and you'll probably see why very quickly. But, like, I see I'm playing against Chip, and I'm like, I'm already upset to be playing against Chip. So he is very much a rushdown character, as you'll see very quickly with how fast he is. And so his thing is that he makes you guess a lot. We do that. All right, now I'm knocked down. That's a cross up. You gotta block the opposite way. The way you gotta block it. He's like, all right, get off you. Okay, I don't want to be off him, really. And jump and flip like 9 times in the fucking air is very upsetting. He's got a fucking invulnerable reversal, because of course he does. You know, why not? All right, knock him down. Now it... Oh, break the wall, actually. Not even going to knock me down in the corner. Now. Up. All right. Hold him down. Do it again. Do it again. Do it. You don't know what to do? You're held there. You got to know what to do to get out of the situation. Alright, do it again. Do it again. It's really hard to anti-air that. Because the timing can be so weird. Alright, here he comes again. Alright, don't come near me. I have big buttons. I'm just gonna, like, pump him away. Alright, get the fuck over there. Oh god, he's back on me again. Not too happy about this. Now we're in the corner. Now we're not having a very good time. Try to push a button. Nope, didn't work. He did something real. Alright, that's a command grab. Oh no, he's gonna do it again. Yeah, you don't know what to do, you get grabbed over and over again. That's why I hate Chip. So, but we got character development, it's okay. The next game went exactly the same. We'll skip that one. It was an exact repeat of the previous game. But then, I'm like, alright, you know what I gotta do? I'm letting him run all over me. We can't let this happen anymore. We gotta just challenge the fuck out of him. Because I'm letting him get away with too much. Grab him. Fucking stop spinning on me. Just fucking jump in the air, grab him. He's in the corner. He doesn't like that very much. Alright, now, wait, no, jump. Okay, here he comes, doing the thing. Just slap a button, just slap a button. Slap a button, challenge him. Don't play defensively. Make him play defensively. He won't know what to do. Chip players only know what to do when they're attacking. Alright, stop that. Get off me. Alright, he's gonna do that. Can't push a button. He does the command grab. I'm just gonna mash because I expect him to do it again. He did indeed do it again. I got him off me. Alright, he's almost dead. Chip's pretty squishy. We can get another hit in. He's dead. Alright. We're dead, actually, unless he drops the combo. No, actually, he just couldn't get the kill right there. Alright, great. Big buttons. Big buttons. Slap him from far away. Then, alright. More challenging. He's doing all this jumping shit. It's hard to anti-air it. Here's what we're gonna do. We see him spinning, we're gonna back up if we can, and then just slap him when he lands instead. That overhead, unsafe on block. Put him in the corner. He uses his invincible startup move to get me off of him. Oh, look, here we go again. I tried to jump to throw him, but he didn't do it again. He tried to throw me. I jumped his throw and punished him. Now, we're in the corner again. We're not having a good time. My burst's almost up, but I think he just breaks the wall. He does just break the wall. Don't need to burst. Alright. He's gonna do something. Just fucking super him at round start. Because you know what he's thinking right there? He's thinking, Ramlethal, if I can touch Ramlethal one more time, she's dead. So I'm just gonna push something really fast right now. I'm gonna push something faster. And then this is how we're gonna carry it on. We're just gonna keep challenging him. Because I have this problem where I do play too defensively. You know what? You gotta play offensively. You gotta say, no, Chip. You're gonna defend instead. And Chip goes, oh no, I don't know how to defend. You can't burst Ramlethal's combos in the corners because the sword's gonna explode. He's still gonna push a button. He hasn't fucking learned. Just do it again. Alright. Anti-air. Slap him out of the air. He's like, oh shit. Oh, I'm just gonna do it again. Oh, that didn't go so well either. God damn. Alright. Okay. Whew, we got in that time. No, just challenge him. He's gonna do some fake shit. Anti-air him again. Don't even let him get in there. Run up. Block? Alright, he didn't use his invincible this time. Challenge him again. He's gonna do some fake shit. Don't let him get away with it. Alright, he's got a jab in. Okay. Fucking throw him. Sit back down, Chip. Now he uses the invincible reversal. But he's one hit from death. Alright. Big variance that time. Gets away with the jump in. He's gonna take me back over to the corner. Fuck him. Fuck him. Just keep slapping him. He's gonna do some fake shit. And that's how you get him. That's how you stop him. You say to yourself, alright, he keeps doing all this fake shit that needs me to be like playing defensively to work. So don't play defensively. Just smack him. Jump up and fucking throw him out of the air. You're in a block string? Mash a fast button, because he's gonna do something weird. Just jump at him, and he's like, ah, god damn it. Okay, mess up the wake-up jab. That's alright. Mash jab. Oh, he DP'd because he thought I was going to push another button. We got him back in the corner. Don't let him out of the corner. Do I drop the combo? He bursts. Thank God. I would have probably dropped the combo. Now he can't burst to get out of anything else that happens. At least for a while. The burst will recover. Got hit by the overhead that time. The overhead's unsafe on block, so if I'd blocked it, I would have gotten him anyway. Burst. Get off me. Don't let him keep getting away with it. Oh, here he goes. He's going to do the spinning again. Big variance. Tried to backstep, didn't backstep. Slap him with the big button. Don't let him in. Back up, slap him with the big button when he lands. Because he's going to be jabbing when he lands. He's going to be jabbing. Repeat again. Alright, jump. Didn't hit him that time. Oh no, we're in the corner. That's okay. Be cool. Be cool. Just slap him with your big buttons. It's okay. When he does some fake shit, jump away and hit him. Your buttons are way bigger than his. You got a big-ass sword. Oh, look, he wants to get out. He doesn't want to be in the corner. He's just like, get me out of the fucking corner. I only know how to play pressure. I don't know how to play defense. And that's how the rest of the games went, pretty much. I think he won one more game out of here? Yeah, he won one more game in there. But that's real character development right there. Alright, we stretched it out to 38 minutes. Great job, team. Even though you all probably stopped caring partway through the end there. So, thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you have a question you'd like to see answered on the show, please submit it via your preferred method. Email, Discord, comment, whichever you prefer. Social media on Twitch, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 8 p.m. EST to 11 EST. The link to the channel in the description. If you managed to make it all worth the video and so I still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future. And I hope you found the video helpful.